Welcome back to Survival of the Fittest, the soup du jour. I'm Chef Roberto Grillion. Got some spicy stuff for you today. All right, it is winter. You know, you have to ask yourself, like, you know, the holidays are over. We're going right into the Valentine's Day. You ready for Valentine's Day? Supposedly the busiest day in all of the restaurants in America. They say that more people dine in the 2 days prior and the 2 days after Valentine's Day than any other time of the year, even the holidays, even, you know, any holiday you can think of. Okay, I just didn't want to get into all those different holidays, but it is Valentine's Day. And people go out and, you know, I'm not sure if you really have to try so hard to impress people, because I think the whole point is to kind of be lovey-dovey and to, you know, I'm so bad at it myself because I've always been in the kitchen and I've always kind of said, here you go, here's your gift. And I've never been the one sitting at a Valentine's meal. Let me think about that. Is that true? Oh my goodness, I've been cooking that long. And like, it's like New Year's Eve, rare the time I can tell you I've had a New Year's Eve where I've been off, not cooking. Rare the times that I could tell you that I've not been cooking on Valentine's Day. So that's coming. I hope all your chefs are ready. I hope everyone's ready to go with that one. You know, little chocolate desserts, little chocolate hearts, all the aphrodisiac menus and everything. Put them all together because Valentine's is coming fast, and it is the busiest restaurant day in America, the busiest restaurant day. Now, of course, you can hear that. You know, my dogs always, as soon as this mic gets turned on, it's like they have this sensor that they know it's time to start like being loud and doing things that are just kind of want attention. I don't know. Maybe it's the tone I use because this is like my radio tone. You know, this. I mean, I don't know if I don't think I go to Publix, you know, the supermarket or anywhere and have this kind of tone, you know. Maybe I do. I don't know, but whatever. But I think as soon as the dogs hear this, they're just like, oh, yeah, it's that time. It's time. He's loud. I'll be loud. Let's be loud. You know, so that's what that is, in case you hear that. And if you don't, well, then you're just hearing me rattle on about Valentine's Day and, of course, all the good things that come in the new year. And certainly our new season of Survival of the Fittest is the soup du jour. My question, though, lately has been, what has happened to food television? Where is it now? I mean, I love it. I love television. I love television history. You know, we can go on all day about how much I love TV. And it's not about being on TV. It's about television itself. You know, it's history, the production side of it, the entertainment side of it, you know, all the grit that goes with it, you know, everything, the stars, the works. I love TV. I mean, not to say I don't love motion picture industry, you know, and superstars, but TV is television, you know. It was so much more part of our lives because it was in our house. It wasn't like having to go to the theater, you know, to be entertained by major motion picture industry. You know, it was in your house. It was part of the family. It was watching Johnny Carson. It was you know, watching Julia Child. It was watching all these different chefs. Sorry about that. I was just kind of got over here with the dogs, of course. Jacques Pepin. You know, we were watching all these different chefs on television, great chefs of the Southeast. Oh no, was it that? Yeah, or the Southwest. Great chefs of the Southwest, great chefs of New York. That was a series on PBS, you know. And then the Food Network happened, and it revolutionized food television as entertainment. And some superstars came out of the Food Network, you know, superstars who kind of went into different, I mean, not necessarily like didn't ever like quit being a chef or left the industry, although I'm sure some have. But like like Bobby Flay, for example. Bobby Flay was in an episode of Entourage, but he was Bobby Flay. And I thought that was just so amazing that, that Bobby Flay, a cook's cook, but a cook was on a show like that, that was that known for entertainment purposes. As a chef, of course, and I truly believe Bobby Flay is a great chef. Super, over the top. Because he's done it. And there's no one who's going to tell him different. But it's like all of a sudden, with the way the world has gone, I don't know, TV's changed, on demand, obviously, online, the podcast, all these different things have kind of swayed what entertains them, what they want to sit and listen to or watch. And they want it when they want it. And I asked after, what has happened to food television? Where are all these food stars these days, and what are they doing? I'm sure they made plenty of money. So, money, sometimes it goes beyond money. For me, it's always been about the kitchen, I think that's what kind of gotten the way of a lot of other things I could have done in life, is because I truly love being in the kitchen. It's one of those things in my life that I can't get enough of to this day. And, but I wonder if a lot of those chefs just return to the kitchen, or are they waiting for the Food Network to come back? And not that it left, but it just doesn't have that same, that it did, 10, 12, 13 years ago. No TV does anymore. None of the big three either. We saw that, and I think Food Network and the cable channels, they're the ones who kind of put the hurt on the big three, NBC, CBS, ABC, the big, the networks. Network TV. And, Food Network, I have to ask myself, wonder what's happening. You'd almost want to believe that they've been able to kind of, take on some podcasts, take on some different, just a different approach to entertaining people, being such a big media company. And, I enjoyed working with them. I thought they were super nice, super professional. Make you feel like a star always, so that was always very exciting. But I hope to see them come back. I hope to see, food TV really kind of become dominant again. I've always loved game shows, anyone who knows me knows that, and I've always kind of believed that you could bring in game shows to food television. And I guess Guy Fieri did it with Guy's Grocery Games, but that's kind of almost like a rehash, I think, of like Iron Chef or even Chopped, but just kind of bringing it, to run around a supermarket to get ingredients, which is genius, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I almost prefer a dating game, Newlywed Game. I've always thought the original Newlywed Game was just hilarious, because people would be like, it's just silly stuff. And I always thought that would be like something exciting to have a newlyweds talk and maybe cook about their favorite dishes, and maybe discuss their favorite dish out of, one's out in a soundproof booth while the other one discuss, who likes to cook or what they like to cook, and then bring them out and sort of see how they mix it up, and then maybe even get them in the kitchen. Who knows? But that's what I was thinking about. Where has food TV gone? And maybe those are questions we leave for people to share with us. Maybe someone in the industry can help answer the question. I've always been a big fan of radio. And I don't know if podcasts and on-demand podcasts have kind of taken the place of radio. I don't know. Maybe. It seems to be very popular radio. And coming from California, growing up in a very Latin American environment where radio is key, and then moving to Puerto Rico and living as long as I did in Puerto Rico for so many years. And radio, to this day, radio is key in Puerto Rico. And I'm going to have to honestly say the newspaper industry is still very solid in Puerto Rico. So it's, not as solid, don't get me wrong, but it's still there, and they still produce newspapers. But radio is still very strong in Puerto Rico. So I'm wondering if more podcasts are coming out of Puerto Rico. I know there's a lot of political stuff that comes out of Puerto Rico, and that's good too, but I'm wondering if more chefs, because I know that the people who are doing like podcasts and sort of like, YouTube channels coming out of Puerto Rico are awesome. So I imagine the podcasts are going to be just as good. I've also found a lot of people here in Orlando that seem to be super entertaining. I can't believe the comedic genius that some of these young, I guess, TikTokers and Instagrammers have. They're just hilarious. And it's reminiscent of old Latin American TV that I've always loved. Once again, going back to the love of television. But Latin American television is distinctly different from North American Anglo-Saxon style TV. And it's just some of these TikTokers and some of these Instagrammers just remind me of that sort of silly, double entendre, sort of sexual style, always bringing the realities of everyday life, of everyday Latino life to the table, wonderfully rough relationships to the table. But I think that's exciting stuff too. So I think there's just a wealth of talent coming out with just, it used to be impossible. I mean, there was a time where you had to be discovered by an agent on a back Hollywood lot or serving coffee, at the Brown Derby to be discovered, and or then you had to go in the 70s and 80s. It was just everybody wanted to be a star, so you had to go through extreme, casting calls and things, and and now it's so open to anybody who's can either put a podcast out there or a YouTube channel, and really the exposure that the talent has out there now is so incredible that I think we score, as a public looking to be entertained, because it's a human nature to want to be entertained. We have everything literally on our phones, and our phones connect to our cars, so we're just completely engaged, in what's going on with, I think, people's level of entertainment and culturally what they're trying to share. And I've just been here in Orlando. I've just been blown away by a lot of these young Latin, whether they Puerto Ricanos or Dominicanos or Mexicanos or Colombianos, just putting out some seriously funny and some seriously good content. And I think that's what's exciting. And none of it's long. It's super short form, super cool. And I think that's why we're living a very exciting time right now for all of us, and anyone who, once again, I always like to inspire people in the kitchen, but at the same time, this is a good time to inspire people to do things. I was talking to one of my cooks who he's not a DJ, but he's the guy who always has the playlist for the kitchen. You know what I mean? And I was doing some research, and on Spotify, you can actually put together a playlist. And because, they allow you to be able to play the music while you speak, and you're sort of a DJ almost, and you can put out your playlist on Spotify like that. I think that's so cool, where you're actually talking in between the songs, and you're just you can put it out there. And I was just thinking how this guy who puts together playlists every week for us in the kitchen, he could put together a playlist for hundreds of kitchens out there, and hopefully, and maybe kitchens, you could actually become legendary DJ for kitchens, whether you do a playlist that is more, ranchero based, where you have a lot of Mexican cooks, and or far more reggaeton style, modern style, urban style music, which is kind of, going kind of really mixing it up, going from Puerto Rico, and I have to say came from Puerto Rico, obviously in the Dominican Republic as well, into Colombia and Venezuela, Mexico. I mean, everyone is doing it, and I just think that this urban style is it's definitely dominant and certainly doing good things. So it goes way back from, Daddy Yankee and Alberto Stiley, Playero, we're coming full swing into guys like Nathaniel, Cano and, El Alfa, and these guys who are just killing it, and of course, Ozuna, Ozuna's always, he's just got that. But he's like silk. There's other people, there's like rough reggaetoneros, urban singers out there, but no, Ozuna's like silk. So you got to give him that, and that's nice. But it's exciting. So I'm wondering, once again, get a playlist together for your kitchen. Not me, not the chef, somebody. And get out there and record yourself and share your ideas. Don't hold back. Just don't hold back. Don't hold back. That's for sure. I mean, and anything you want to do. And another thing, and I think what I like about this one artist, and he just announced his new tour, and he's coming to Orlando. Bad Bunny. Lately he's been hitting the wine and the dining, and he kind of sits there and he's very chic about it. I love it. It's so cool. So we'll be looking for Bad Bunny. Escuchate, hermano. We're looking for Bad Bunny to open a restaurant, right? They could be pretty wild. If it's anything like him or what he kind of like that style he puts out there for his public, I think if he would put together a pretty wild restaurant. So, that would be exciting to look for. So, ya lo oíste, Bad Bunny. Oye, hermano, tienes que tirártelo, Benito. Oye, tírate allí algo chévere allí. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, it's always a pleasure to be here to share all these ideas with all of y'all and hear what you have to say. Greetings to everybody from New York to LA, Puerto Rico, Mexico, everyone around the world. We've heard from people in Japan, Argentina, España, and we love it. So keep it up. Send us your messages. Remember, we're on all platforms. You'll find us on every platform known to humanity. We're on Instagram at Chef Roberto Trevino. We're on Twitter at Chef Trevino. And everywhere else you need to find us, you know how it is. You just Google it. That's another trendy thing. Just Google it. It's a political thing now, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, survival of the fittest is the soup du jour. I'm Chef Roberto Trevino. I'm cooking for you every week on this podcast. So we'll see you soon. Cuídense.